I live up here, it's my second home now, and with both cars here now, so we're gonna replace these master cylinders. We're going back to these shocks, and realistically, from today, we have 1 week until we leave. We smoothed up the firewall, so these were all indented, so. Okay, Nick and I are in the 413 coupe. Okay, we're back for another episode, and we are back at Low Man Rods. I live up here, it's my second home now, and with both cars here now, we have the 413 coupe and the 5-window coupe, so Timmy's gonna tell us.
I'm not telling you nothing.
No, we'll get Nick. Nick's much better on camera.
Yeah.
But Nick's gonna tell us what, or tell you what all is going on the 413 coupe. It's always a thrash. It's a last minute thrash.
You broke
right?
it.
I didn't break anything. It's a last minute thrash. This time it's to get to go to Gathering at the Rock in Oklahoma. But Nick, what are we doing? What'd you find? What's the steps?
Originally I just came in to get the brake masters changed that Woolwood recommended, but we ended up finding a tiny fuel leak that you've had for a little bit that we thought was just residual fuel in the rockers. And so I believe I've narrowed it down to a fitting underneath the fuel tank in the trunk. So we're gonna try to dig into that, trying to just get it through the firewall, but if not, we'll probably end up trying not to pull the tank any way possible. But
How much gas is actually in it right now, do we know?
that part I don't know. Hopefully it's not a full tank.
I can't remember how much fuel I have in it.
Half tank.
Half tank, okay.
Yeah, half tank, that's not too bad then.
So we're gonna replace these master cylinders here, right? Because the bore size is supposedly, according to Willwood,
Too big.
too big, yeah.
Yeah, too big, so they recommended we switch them out to 3/4 inch bore. So all three will actually be 3/4 inch bore now, even your clutch.
Okay.
So,
But we only need to replace 2.
Yeah, we only need to replace 2.
So you gotta do that, replace those, and then re-bleed the brakes again, right?
Yeah, we gotta bleed them in at the same time too, so.
And then we're just gonna have everything checked out, the bolts, and change oil.
Yeah, I don't, Tim needs to order me the oil filter and stuff like that. And then we'll get the oil change and everything in this too. Other than that, I don't think we really found any other issues. Everything up front seems tight so far I red Loctited most of the stuff last time, so.
Yeah.
Didn't want anything coming back apart.
So nothing too huge, but master cylinders we knew from Triple Crown Rodding. We met with Willwood, and originally what we were told was those were the correct bore size, and then we met with them and it wasn't the correct bore size. So, you know, you always get different things, but they adjusted the pedal assembly a little bit, and then we're hoping that this gives us a little bit more of a brake pedal.
Yeah, because I think your pedal was pretty much just firm and almost like
very firm,
little to no give.
Yeah, very firm. You got to push on it, and it wouldn't be something I'd want my wife to drive at this point. I don't know if she can push the pedal, but they may have to pull out this rear firewall. When we're talking firewall, that's the firewall for the rear, and then hopefully not pull out the gas tank. And then we've been trying different shock combinations as well, so we're going back to these shocks, but eventually we'll play with the rear shocks just for ride quality. What do we think? Is it too long of a shock, too short of a shock?
I think when we're talking to QA1, it's slightly too short of a shock. So like our ride height is 12.5 inches, and they want you to be around like 13 inches, I think is what they believe. And so he thinks we're already like 2 inches into the compression stroke.
Okay.
So he's wanting us to lengthen it if we can. So I think that was one of the things we're going to go over today and see about lengthening. Or, I mean, it's probably not something that's going to be done before the Triple Crown. It'd be definitely something.
Or before Gathering at the Rock, yeah.
Yeah, it'd definitely be something a little bit farther down the line than maybe a winter.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, Nick, the car leaves from Oklahoma to California.
Yeah, and it won't come back until next year.
It's going to come back next year, right? So, yeah. So we'll just deal with a little bit of, it's not going to ride as good as what we want it to, so that may be, but if we fix a fuel leak, brakes are good.
Yeah, so I think Timmy is talking with him right now on maybe we might be able to at least get the QA1 shocks. They have rebound adjustment and compression adjustment. Maybe we might be able to get a little bit of give out of it until we can get it switched around.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure something out. Something, because right now with no shocks, it's nice and soft and bouncy. But the thing is, you're bouncing down the road a lot.
Yeah.
With no shocks, so that's the downside. So we need to hopefully try to figure out something kind of in between-ish until it could be a permanent fix.
And realistically, from today, we have 1 week until we leave. We have 1 week till we leave to go. We're going to go to Nashville first, so you'll see that in a video, what we're going to do down there. And then we leave from Nashville to go to Oklahoma, and then straight from Oklahoma to California with this car. So it's never ending, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So we'll show you the 5-window next. Thanks to Nick here once again for always working on the car and the final thrash. But let's go up front. We'll check on the 5-window, the progress there, see if there's anything new, and we'll continue to show you updates on the 413 coupe here at Low Man Rods, as well as the 5-window and Gathering at the Rock. Hopefully, we're crossing our fingers. Here we come. So yeah. Okay, a real quick update on the 5-window. They're starting to get to the next spot. They've taken the rear seat out, but they're starting to work on the rear window section. So some of this was fabbed up, but we're taking all this part, making sure all the window regulator, everything works. They need to build a drain into this. When I spoke with Timmy, what they're going to do is once they get all this set up inside, and they're gonna end up powder coating all this metal. They'll have to take all this apart, but they'll powder coat it before it goes back in. So if any water goes through and all that stuff, obviously it's gonna go through a drain, but if any water dripped out inside or anything like that, it's never gonna rust. So we'll end up doing that. So that's probably it right now on the 5-window. Again, the doors, all this stuff has been reworked, as you saw in a previous video. They also filled these holes. So we smoothed up the firewall, so these were all indented, so they just took those holes out and patched them. So this will all be smooth. We'll just see the main kind of the belt line and so forth, the V in the firewall, but everything else is going to look a lot better and smooth on the firewall. We won't have anything mounted up there. Okay, commercial time. This video is sponsored by Low Man Rods, which you see behind us. They're a great vendor partner of ours on OpposingCylinders.com. So if you join as a member, you will receive discounts. They have custom parts for exhaust brackets. They offer more parts, but we just got back up here for part 2 of this episode, and we do see good news. So if the 413 coupe is sitting outside, that is a positive thing. We're gonna check it out. Looks like it's all back together. We have just a couple days before we head out to Tennessee and then Oklahoma for the Gathering at the Rock, and then California. So we're gonna do a test drive in the car real quick, and they got the gas leak fixed, as well as adjusting the brakes and the master cylinders, different bore size. So let's get in the 413 coupe and take a ride, get it fired up. Let's see how it feels. Okay, Nick and I are in the 413 coupe. Thanks again to Nick here for getting it all set. So tell everybody what you end up doing on the car this time. What did we end up tweaking?
Yeah, so we talked to Willwood, and they sent us out some smaller bore master cylinders to put in, just because he wanted a softer pedal. It was real firm before, and it would barely ever move.
But thank you for watching another episode of Opposing Cylinders. Please hit that like, subscribe, share our videos with others. Thanks again to Low Man Rods. We're gonna get back on the road. We got the truck and trailer. We gotta get the car home. We gotta get it unloaded. We gotta really kind of prepare everything. We have to get our tools ready. We have some of this stuff, tools, a few little cleaning things and rags and extra oil to take for the road trip, and some chairs, whatever we're going to need out in California for the next 8 months. We're going to load that car up, and we got to get back into Muroc tonight because it's homecoming weekend. We're going to drive the Muroc in front of everyone at a football game. So we're going to put our son on top of the back of the car. So hopefully you see some of those on Instagram. But give us a thumbs up. Again, share the video. Visit our website, opposingcylinders.com. and see all the new listings, and please consider joining our membership piece. It is live, it is up and going. We continue to add new vendor partners each and every week, and they're all giving you discounts. And when you join as a crew member, you're also entered into raffles, giveaways. We're giving you an Opposing Cylinders swag pack, shirts, keychains, stickers, and more. So join the family, and we will see you on the road in Oklahoma and in California. We can't wait. We're excited. Here we go.